Welcome to this video on the effects of Islamization under General Zia-ul-Haq's regime in Pakistan. In this video, we will explore the long-lasting and far-reaching impacts of Zia's Islamization policy on Pakistan's society, economy, and politics. We'll also discuss the short-term and long-term consequences of this policy and provide you with some figures and images to support our analysis. Section 1. The Rise of Terrorism and Extremism. The Islamization policy under Zia-ul-Haq's regime promoted a conservative and extremist interpretation of Islam, which ultimately led to the rise of terrorism and extremism in Pakistan. Since the 1980s, Pakistan has been plagued by a series of violent attacks, particularly from groups like the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. According to the Global Terrorism Index, Pakistan has consistently ranked among the top 10 countries affected by terrorism since 2002. Sectarian violence. Another significant impact of Zia's Islamization policy was the rise of sectarian violence in Pakistan. The Sunni-Shia conflict is a major issue in Pakistan, and Zia's regime contributed to exacerbating this conflict. In recent years, there have been countless incidents of sectarian violence between different sects of Islam in Pakistan, resulting in the displacement of entire communities and countless deaths and injuries. Political instability. The Islamization policy also had significant impacts on Pakistan's political landscape. Zia's regime created an environment in which religious parties and groups gained significant political power, often at the expense of more moderate and secular political parties. This has contributed to political instability and a lack of effective governance in Pakistan. Economic impacts. Zia's Islamization policy had negative effects on Pakistan's economy as well. The regime introduced policies that discouraged foreign investment and economic development, as well as policies that limited the role of women in the workforce. This has contributed to Pakistan's economic stagnation and high unemployment rates, particularly among women. Intellectual and cultural impacts. The Islamization policy had a significant impact on Pakistan's intellectual and cultural landscape as well. The regime imposed restrictions on freedom of expression in the press, and banned or censored a wide range of books, films, and other forms of media. This had a stifling effect on intellectual and cultural development in Pakistan, and contributed to a culture of conformity and intolerance. Women's rights. Zia's Islamization policy had a significant impact on women's rights in Pakistan. The regime introduced laws that discriminated against women, such as the Hudood Ordinance, which made it difficult for women to report sexual assault and rape. The policy also promoted gender segregation and limited women's access to education and employment, further marginalizing them in society. Education. Zia's Islamization policy also had an impact on education in Pakistan. The regime introduced policies that promoted Islamic education and discouraged critical thinking and scientific inquiry. This had a negative effect on the quality of education in Pakistan, and contributed to a lack of skilled workers in key sectors. Conclusion. In conclusion, the Islamization policy under Zia-ul-Haq's regime had significant and long-lasting impacts on Pakistan in a variety of ways. While it may have promoted a more conservative and religiously oriented society, it also contributed to terrorism and extremism, sectarian violence, political instability, economic stagnation, cultural and intellectual oppression, limited women's rights, and impacted education and foreign